In this video, we are going to look at the Substance Automation Toolkit and how it can be used to produce variations on a substance material. So in this example, I have this procedural stone tiles material, and we have a few input parameters that are used to produce variations on this material. So for example, here you can see that there is a multi-switch node, and this node has several pattern inputs being fed into it. Now, if we take a look at the input parameter here for the pattern selection, and I change the default value, you can see here that by simply changing this input parameter, we're changing the overall look of this material. Here you can see that there are also some parameters for the X and Y amount. So here, for example, if I start to change the X amount, here you can see where we're producing some additional variation here to this material. So now we are going to use a script to randomize our input parameters and generate calls to the batch tools, which are a part of the automation toolkit. The batching process will render texture variations to disk. This script is used to invoke the substance batch processors. And here in this definition, you can see that I have the same input parameters from Substance Designer. So here we have our pattern selection, and the value is being randomized here between a 1 and a 5. Also, I have the X and Y amount both being randomized between 5 and 10. Here I have a command window, and I'm going to run the variations Python script. This Python script is going to generate a series of calls to the batch tools. And here in the output window, you can start to see the results being generated. Here we can start to see some of our base color. So if I just open up one of these images, you can see that what we have is a variation of that original substance based on the randomization of those input parameters. You'll also notice here that we have a set of substance files that are being generated. These are copies of that original substance, with each copy having the input parameters set to that random varied value. Now you can see that we have more base color appearing. Here we have a set of normal textures, and we also have a set of roughness maps being generated. In this example, we created an automatic process for generating multiple variations of a single substance. The variations script was used to set up the randomization of the input parameters and generate a series of calls to the batch tools. The batch process then rendered the textures and generated the substance files.